everybody, this is my forecast for Gemini, April 2017. So Gemini, let's see. We start off in your sixth house. Okay, so full moon, sixth house. Full moon is Scorpio. Okay. Sixth house is work, health, and daily routine. And whenever there's a full moon, there's some type of awareness or endings. So it's in Scorpio, so there's some type of something around work, something, some issues going on behind the scenes because of Scorpio, and some close or some type of ending to a situation, or something. Okay. Let's see. Seventh house. Seventh house is all about relationships, any type of relationship, business partnership, husband, wife, parent, child, any type of relationship is the seventh house, and also contracts. It has to do with contracts. So Saturn is there. Saturn is commitment, obligation, responsibility, restructuring, reworking. Saturn is retrograde right now. So there some type of past commitment, past obligation, past issue is coming back up again. There's something, there's a commitment, there's an obligation, an issue, and it has to do, it's in that seventh house, has to do with contracts or with relationship. So maybe there's some past issue with the contract that you made, because it has to be reviewed or renewed or reanalyzed, redone. Okay, so there's some past, maybe contractual issue or something with the relationship. You're reviewing some past relationships, some relationship, or maybe you and a business partner or something, or going back, or having some issues with some past contracts that you had. It's coming back up, a situation coming back up between you and someone about some contract and or some relationship. And it has to be anytime. This is an interesting month because there are a lot of retrogrades going on. And anytime there's a retrograde, there's a redo, renew, reanalyze, review. There's something you have to go back over. There's something that has to be redone, or some opportunity that's coming back up. Also, let me say this. I'm sorry, before I forget. I should have said it in the beginning of the video. Watch. This is for the Gemini or Gemini rising or ascendant, whatever you want to say. And you can get if you have your time of birth, you can find the astrological calendar online, and that will give you your rising sign or ascendant. Okay, sorry about that. Right in the middle of the, I had to say it while I remembered. It's about, I don't know, almost 4 o'clock in the morning. 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired, but I want to get these done. So anyway, back to you about this contract or this relationship. It's coming back up. It's an issue, and it's coming back up. And maybe that's the thing around work that I just saw with the full moon. Something's coming to, there's going to be some closure or something. I don't know, let me see. Because then I go into your 8th house. Pluto in the 8th house, retrograde on the 19th. It's toward the end of the month, but still. Pluto is anything behind the scenes, beneath the surface. It's deep. Transition, it's change, and planning, just things going on. There's planning behind the scenes stuff, like in secret. And so this is retrograde. So that means that whatever planning is going on is coming up, like it's going to be revealed so that it can be reviewed, restructured, reworked, redone. So you were probably trying to hide whatever was going on, but now it's going to come out and it's coming up, and it's going to be redone, reviewed, renewed. Okay, that was eighth house, and that has to do also, yeah, that planning. That's in the eighth house of other people's resources. So when I say other people's resources, this is the eighth house where Pluto is in retrograde, where things were going on in secret, like the planning. That has to do with taxes, debt, insurance, anything from other people's resources, spouses' resources. I don't know, insurance, healthcare, like stuff like that. Things that you get from other people's resources. So whatever the case may be, whatever the planning is, whatever was going on behind the scenes with it, whatever mistake or reviewing or renegotiating that you were trying to do is going to come out so that it can be reworked and restructured. Okay. If it was your taxes, you might have to, you might have to go back over that paperwork. Maybe there was some mistake that was done, but it was left undone, so you need to go back over it because there might be something there that you have to fill out again with your taxes, if it's your taxes, if it's any type of paperwork dealing with coming from other people's resources, whether it's your disability or your health care, you might have to go back over the paperwork, or you might have to call somebody and have another meeting. You might have to have it might be coming up for review or something like that. Okay. All right, so now we move to your 10th house. Venus retrograde in that 10th house. So it's actually it was retrograde in the 11th. Went back to the 10th, and then it will be moving out of the 10th back into the 11th. So let me start by going to the 11th and then back to your 10th. So Venus retrograde in your 10th. We'll move to the 11th first. We're going to go to Venus retrograde in Aries, and then it will retrograde back into your 10th house in Pisces. Okay. So, so it starts out in the 10th house. That has to do with authority figures. 10th house is all about career, authority figures, government, banking. It's a public house, and it's goals in career. Okay. There's reviewing with authority figures. So I don't know if you put in for a job, you have this career and you had to deal with authority figures for some reason. You had to have meetings or something with them. Now you have to go back and forth with these meetings. You might be renegotiating something, a contract or something has to do with your career. Because Venus is love and money, and that 10th house is more than likely going to be money. because that's the house of careers and goals and government and banking, and so, and it's ruled, that's the Capricorn house. So it's pretty much something to do with money and with government and with banking and authority figures. And so, yeah, there's if it has to do with a bank, you might have to reapply for this loan. If it has to do with authority figures, you may be renegotiating something, maybe contract with them for your job or something. But this reviewing, going back over something, and it's dealing with authority figures, and it's in that 10th house. And then it moves to the 11th, where now this is same thing, group, company, organization. 11th is also hopes, dreams, and wishes, but with the dealing with the authority figures or the banking and whatever it is, it moves into this group, company, organization. So now it's telling me that this is like some, yeah, has to do with money, has to do with banks, has to do with corporations, has to do with groups. Are you refinancing something? Are you renegotiating a job? Are you, see, because Mercury retrograde is there too. So now you these are meetings, you're going back and forth with people, with authority figures. And see, the sun is in your, what house is that? 11th. Sun is in your 11th house. That's your focus. That's groups, companies, organizations, hopes, dreams, and wishes. But wherever the sun is, that's your focus. That's where it's shining. That's the house that it's shining on in your chart. And so you're dealing with people, a whole group of people, and it has to do with money. And it's past situations that are coming up, that are being revealed, that are being reworked, they're being reviewed. Okay, then Mercury retrograde goes into that 12th. And Mars is there in that 12th, in the 12th house for you, Gemini. Mars will bring things out. It's just gonna, whatever you were hiding is just, it's out. It's coming out. It's like Mars has so many different, it's conflicts and stress. It could be ambition and desire. But right here, going through all this reviewing and redoing with the 10th house, with the 11th house, and the 12th house. 10th house, authority figures, banking and government. 11th house, groups, companies, organizations. And the 12th house, the revealing. And the Mercury retrograde. It's just, oh my gosh. Like, just a whole bunch of renegotiating, of revealing, first of all, and then reworking, reviewing. What is that? What is that? There's so many different scenarios. It's hard to put all this together. Okay, but you will be going back over a lot of past things. It sounds worse than what it is probably, but if it's for money for you, or whatever the case may be, like, there's just, if you're putting in for a bank loan, then you probably just had to deal with a lot this month. I probably would wait until after all the retrogrades are over, but if you can't wait, you can't wait. So you just be going back and forth until it's all straightened out. If it's for whatever group, company, organization that you're trying to deal with, it's just going to be a whole lot of back and forth. It will get, I'm going to say that it's just a lot of back and forth this month. That's all. That's all. Because there's a lot of retrogrades, and it seems like your focus is mostly with a career, or some type of career in business, or your goals, or banking and government. And then it has to do with the groups or companies or organizations that you have to deal with all these people. And there's some reviewing, a lot of reviewing, a lot of back and forth with meetings, a lot of talking to people, and then some stuff coming up from past issues that are going to be brought out so that it can all be cleared up. It has to come out so that it can all be cleared up. All right, so yeah, give me some feedback on that one, because it just looks like just a whole, you know, I mean, but with this retrograde, everybody's going to be a lot of things. They're going to have to go back over a lot of things. Might have to be a lot of paperwork that has to be done, not just for Geminis, it's for a lot of people. You know, a lot of reviewing of a lot of meetings, back and forth. You know, this is the time where we're supposed to get things cleared up, straightened up. So yeah, give me some feedback on that. So thank you very much for watching. Pray about it, pray about it, pray about it. That's all I can say. God will take care of it. So I'm going to say with that, hope you see me next month, and God bless.